Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to bust those truths about passive incomes and what they don't tell you. So you may have heard passive income, it's easy. It's really not. The thing with passive incomes is you need to set in the work from the beginning. It's not one of those things that you set it up or you do like a little bit of work and then you hope for all this money. It is a long process to set it up. For example, if you're doing digital products, you might have to make probably 20, 30, 40. And then, for example, you might put it on Etsy. It will take time for them to be found. Do you know what I mean? And, to work out, well, that strategy didn't work and that type of thing. So there's a lot of groundwork in the beginning and training as well. Some of these passive incomes you're going to be trying, you probably never touched in your life. So it's really important to kind of do your research, your training, and then do the work to set it up. But in the long term, it will require some effort. For example, marketing, you'd still have to do that as well. So it's not like the most easiest thing to set up, but long term, it could be amazing for you. Myth 2, passive income is free. No, it's not. So some people think this is like one of the top things they love about passive incomes, but they're actually not free. So I'm going to talk through some of the costs. So you've got to think about some of the platform fees. Etsy has a listing fee for every item that you put up. Then you have the cost to sell as well. So that's coming out of basically what you've sold. But you've got to pay for it first. So that is coming across as not being free. You've also got website costs as well. So if you're building, say, a platform, membership, you name it, it will have a website cost, hosting, domain name, all of that attached to it as well. You might need to hire someone to actually create the website. So that's another additional cost. So it isn't free to start with some of these as well. Marketing as well, you've got to think about. If you're putting a lot of time and effort into a passive income to promote certain things, you might find you have to do like Facebook marketing, that type of thing, which comes at a cost as well, because you might be struggling to reach the right sort of people organically. So you might have to do that. Training is a really important one that people forget about. You can train pretty much anything for free, basically. But you will find sometimes the quality of it isn't great, or you get different kind of answers and things like that. So sometimes people will pay for training in specific things because they feel like the quality's there and it's legitimate. So it's really important to think about that cost. Online tools as well. If you're doing social media, you might have a scheduling tool. If you're doing design work, you might have Canva or Adobe Express, that type of thing. So there was a cost involved in that. So you need to work that into your mind when you're thinking about setting a passive income. Can you afford the initial setups and all of these types of fees? If you're doing like stocks and shares, that type of thing, then you're going to do initial investment. You're going to have to hand over some money for it to work for you, basically. Often you'll find you will have to hire a professional. If you're creating a website or anything in particular that you haven't got a clue what you're doing, you might have to hire a professional. So that's an additional cost. And finally, your time. You are putting a lot of your time in, setting this up. So you want to see a return at the end of this. So in the beginning, you're giving it away for free, but you want to get paid eventually. That's probably the only thing that is free probably on that list, to be honest. The next one is passive income is the same as an active income. Active is that you're working towards something. For example, an active income is you earn it through, say, working, your job, an hourly rate, freelancing, self-employed, whatever, something that you're working with to give you money. Passive income is not like that. Passive income is you put some effort in and you get something back, but it fluctuates. For example, if you do an investment, it will fluctuate what you'll get back. Dividends, same. You might get them every 3 months. It wouldn't be monthly. But you're not working at something. You're expecting something back from something that you have created or done or set up, basically. So, for example, if you put stuff on Etsy, Etsy is a great example, to be honest. You put a couple of listings out there, they won't actively be, you might get, say, £10 a month, or some months you'll get more, some months you won't get any. So it's seen as a passive income because it's not always the same amount. This is my pet hate one. It's a get rich quick scheme. No, it is not. It is not it's nothing like that. Passive incomes can take years to create, months to create. It depends on the amount of work you put in. The more time and effort and understanding of what you're trying to achieve you put into it is going to help you generate the income. But it will not make you millions to start with. It would probably take you years to get to that point, or trying out different strategies. It's not going to be like you do this, you get money. It's not like that. But you do need to understand the passive income, basically how it works. And that's why I say, I think, training is such an important aspect of anything to do with this type of thing. You need to know what you're doing, basically. And if something doesn't work, then you might find that you completely change your passive income to something else. To end this video, I like to give people some sort of idea of what to do next. So first of all, be patient. It takes time to build up income streams, especially passive ones. Don't expect overnight for it to happen, but be consistent and keep doing it. Don't just go, give up, not had anything in 6 months. I know people have drop shipping companies and they've had it for a year. Then things start happening because they've been building up their brand awareness. And then from there, it's spin-tailed. It was amazing. And they've grown it so much. And they think they've been in it for 3 years now. And they are still doing it, which is amazing. But they stayed patient. Be realistic about your goals. Don't expect it to be a rich, quick kind of system. It's not. Do your research. There are a lot of different passive incomes out there. Work out what suits you, what you want to basically do, something that aligns with your skills, something that you're passionate about. But spend some time doing research, look at what other people are doing, how they do it, best methods, and work out what's best for you. And then finally, be willing to put the work in. There is no point you starting a passive income if you cannot be bothered doing it. The more effort you put in, the better output. Basically, that's it. But if you're willing to put the effort into your passive income, you can grow it so quickly. You can go in different avenues. And the great thing about passive incomes is, if you've got the time, you could do multiple ones. You don't have to stick to one. You could do so many. So get out there, do some research, find out what passive income works for you, and let me know if there's any passive incomes that you want to know about specifically, and I will hopefully create a YouTube on it in the near future.